Welcome to iOS Insights, the channel for iOS app development using SwiftUI and Swift. In today's tutorial, we will be having fun with buttons. We'll be creating the following buttons that include the notification badge, which is the heart button. So if I click on the heart button, the actual badge increments from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And also we'll be creating gradient buttons that have different shades of colors, and an outline button. And all the buttons includes functionality. So if I click this, you can see the number increases and it displays that the heart button was clicked. If I click on the gradient button, it displays that the gradient button was clicked. Clicking on the outline button displayed that the outline button was clicked. So this is what we're doing using SwiftUI in this tutorial. Within your SwiftUI projects, open the content view and then enter the following two variables after lines 10. That's at state private var pressed button equals comma at state private var button pressed equals 0. And the purpose of the button press variable is to show the amount of times the button has been pressed for the like notification button that I showed earlier. So if I press the button once or more than once, the number is incremented. So that's the purpose of using that variable, button pressed. So by default, the button is assigned to 0 as the counter. Next thing we need to do is on line 15, delete line 15 and 17. And then within the text, just enter fun with buttons. Style the text, font large title. Dot padding. Bottom 20. Button action and this button is to create the heart button. So button action colon, and then we need another bracket here, press button equals heart button, button pressed equals 1. And let's change the button press to a better name called counter, or the amount of times the button has been pressed. So just rename it amount of times button press So the amount of times the button pressed is 1, incremented by 1, and then the next thing we need to do is create a Z stack for the heart button, and the purpose of the Z stack is to enable the heart to be shown as an image. So we'll be using a system name image called heart fill. We'll just create the Z stack image, system name, heart dot fill dot font system size 30 dot foreground color dot red dot padding 20 dot background Next thing we need to do is to apply a rounded rectangle with a white fill and shadow. Rounded rectangle, corner radius 20, dot fill, dot white, fill it with a white color, dot shadow, color, dot grey, radius 3, X 0 and Y 2. So the purpose of line 31 is to add a shadow to the button. Yeah, so that's the fun button that's been created. So we just compile it now just to see what it looks like on the screen. And run it. See, at the moment it just displays the heart button, but we need to add the notification badge so that it shows the amount of likes. So each time when we click on the button, you see the amount of likes. So let's do that now. On line 33, just add the notification button for the number of likes. So just type in text, string, button, no, it's not button pressed, it should be amount of times button, the amount of times button pressed, which is the number of likes. Dot font, footnotes, dot foreground color, dot white, padding 5, and the purpose around the padding is to like give the badge more space. Dot background circle, dot fill red, and this sets the badge color to red. Dot offset x 20, y -20, and that just positions the badge as near to the heart as possible. The heart icon, that is. Dot opacity so what we need to do there is so we need to type in press button. So if the press button is the heart button, then make the opacity 1.0, else 0.0. So what that means, it will only show the badge only when the heart button is pressed. And then next thing we need to do on line 44, just add a scale effect. Scale effect 1.0. So that just applies a scale effect to the tap, to the bottom tap. Let's now run the application to see how it works, because now the notification button and heart button, the heart text field for the notification button is all complete. So when I click on the button now, you should see the increment of the button being shown from 1 to 3, 4. As you can see, it's 1, click it again, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's one way how you can create a notification button with taps. And the next button that we will create is a gradient button. After line 44, just enter the following: button action and then oh yeah, we need one of these brackets on line 48, that one there, and then type pressed button equals gradient button. And the purpose of having that assigned to the press button, having that constant, which is gradient button, assigned to press button, is so that when we press the button, it will say down below near the end of the screen, the gradient button has been pressed, or the heart button has been pressed, or the outline button has been pressed. Text gradient button dot font headline, just adding some style, dot padding, just adding a bit of padding around the bottom's content, dot foreground color, dot white, dot background, and for the background we'll be using a linear gradient. So to apply a linear gradient background with blue and purple colors, just enter the following: linear gradient colors, which is an array of colors. So that is color.blue, color.purple, and then for the start point, enter leading. For the endpoint, trailing. Corner radius 20, and the purpose of line 57 is just to round the corners. It's around the corners of the background. So to make the background a rounded corner, dot shadow radius 5. So that just adds a shadow to the button. And now yeah, that button is now done, so let's run it. See it on the screen. So as you can see, we created the gradient button and it's clickable, but the reason why we don't see the message down below, the gradient button was pressed or the heart button was pressed, is because we need to create the text field, like the text to display which button has been pressed. We'll be doing that afterwards, after we create the last button. So the final button is the outlined button. and that button is to be created after line 59. So just type in button action colon and then put another bracket there for the text or for the caption, and then within the clickable event just type in press button equals outline button, and then for the text just type in outlined button, next thing we need to do is set the font style for the button similar to the other buttons. Font dot headline padding foreground color dot blue background and for the background we will apply a rounded rectangle stroke with a blue color. So to do that just enter rounded rectangle corner radius 20 dot stroke dot blue line width 2, and what that does, it just sets the stroke color and the width, the line width, and then after line 74 just enter the following, which is button style plain button style, and the purpose of using this modifier, which is plain button style, is to apply a plain button style to remove the default button style that's on the default buttons. And then what we need to do now is to display which button has been clicked. And we do this on I think this should be done after line 75 or 76. And so just type in press button is empty or nil. So what this will do, it will display the press button name if a button was pressed. So the next thing we need to do is type in text press button press button. So the button that was pressed will be displayed here. So we'll say press button, but the button pressed is the heart button. Dot font dot headline dot foreground color dot grey and dot padding top 20. And then the purpose of the last padding on line 82 is to apply the padding to the entire V-stack, which is here. That's where the V-stack starts on line 14. And then the V-stack ends on line 81. So let's run it to see if it works or not. So if I click on the heart button, yeah, that's correct. It displays press button, heart button. The heart button was pressed, the gradient button was pressed, and the outline button was pressed. The content struct defines a SwiftUI view that showcases various button styles. It includes a heart button with a notification badge, a gradient button, and an outline button. The view dynamically updates the press button label to display the name of the button pressed by the user, providing a visually interactive user interface. Thank you for joining us. If you found this tutorial helpful, please comment, like and subscribe. See you next week.